second or third long trip, right?
Maine?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, we're going more places than Maine.
Right.
Yeah. Here we are. And there's Rick. And there's Louie. First stop will be Bucky's.
Our mission this year was to drive straight through from Florida to Maine with doing just one night stays until we reached the northeast coast of Maine. Our first night stay was at the Savannah Lakes RV Resort. For some reason, we took no video or photos. Even though it was a very nice brand new park, we have no video to show how nice it really was. This was our next stop, in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. We hooked up and took Louie for a walk around the park. We headed out the next day after discovering we had no wine. Apparently it was left in the refrigerator at home. So after driving through a few of the local box stores with a 40-foot RV and a Jeep in tow, we discovered you only can buy wine at the liquor store in the area. So even if we had to cross the street to get your wine, you do what you have to do. Another brief one-night stop in Maryland before we get back into traffic and driving through New York City before we stop in Connecticut to see Mike and Michelle. It's always a good time to see them. Oh, and of course, they get to see Louie. We crossed over into Maine and made our way to Belfast, where we stayed at the Moorings Oceanfront RV Resort. And that's when we noticed the temperature change. The next day, we continued on, crossing over Penobscot Narrows Bridge, up through Ellsworth, into Lubec, Maine. It's the furthest north I've ever been before. We were fortunate enough to be invited up to our friends Scott and Debbie's house in Lubec. We mooch-docked on their beautiful oceanfront property for the weekend and enjoyed time with my old buddies. While there, we did some ATVing, took in the local sights, and of course had to have some live Maine lobster. course, we always had Dana to depend on, to making us laugh, showing us what women can do and what guys can't do.
You start here, you go 1, 2, and then snip.
It's a 3.
So it's here. So head about right here.
What's 90 degrees? Like this? So is the chair better than here?
You get it close to the top. Head against the wall.
Let's see how many weight is
Alright.
in the wall.
Now pick the chair up, but it didn't stand up.
Now pick your chair up.
Oh, let's see if I can do me first.
But it'd be interesting to see if Deb can do this. He can't even do himself.
My weight's over here.
Well, it is probably better to heavy on the top.
Okay, alrighty. Your turn now.
Just try those.
And then,
Now put your head against the wall. Now stand up.
now stand.
Now try it with the
Head
chair.
against the wall, slide the chair in. Slide the chair in.
Yeah, but I couldn't do
Well, I
that
want to
one.
see you with the chair.
Just smaller feet.
Exactly.
Yeah, use,
Now pick the chair up and stand
Scotty's
up.
feet.
Stand up. Well, a piece of cake.
It is.
Women can do it.
Alright, my shoes.
Big thanks to Scott and Debbie for being great hosts. We hope to be back someday. It was time to continue on for a couple days' stay in Bar Harbor, Maine. We enjoyed the downtown area and took in the sights from Cadillac Mountain in Arcadia Park. From above, you see the downtown area of Bar Harbor, Maine.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Aggregate sidewalks blended in here. Really, really nicely done.
There's Bar Harbor. Here at Arcadia National Park. It's gorgeous.
what it looks like from the base of Cadillac Mountain in Arcadia Park. It was time to get some lunch and continue taking in the views of Bar Harbor, Maine. We found this cute little resort with all these little cabins. Precious. The next day we headed back south towards my hometown of Windham, Maine. That's where we'll end our journey for a few days, spending a couple of days at my buddy's house, Dana, at Camp Perkins. Stay tuned for further adventures.